Hi, I'm Jennifer with Resilient Life Therapy, here with a lot of great ideas and tips and concepts to help your life go better. I am in the middle of making a series of videos about narcissism. And I really encourage you, if you have a narcissist in your life, please go check them out. There's a lot of really important and crucial information in these videos. So if you want to find the other videos, I will have a link of other ones that I've made in this series in the description of this video down below. Or you can just go to the playlist for this channel and find the other videos on narcissism. So today I want to talk about a really, really important topic. And that is the top 10 strategies for dealing with a narcissist, otherwise known as Defense Against the Dark Arts 101. Okay, so listen, as with all these videos, this is not comprehensive. Narcissism is such a big topic, and man, I could talk for hours on any one of these videos, but of course, I don't think anybody's gonna watch a video that's hours long. So I am trying to give you guys really good information, hit the top and salient points, and give you a little bit of information to help you better understand narcissism and think about how you want to manage having a narcissist in your life, or if you're healing from a narcissistic relationship, okay? So for today, we're going to talk about the, defense against the dark arts. All right, top 10 strategies. So number 1 is, look, hope is a mean bitch. So what do I mean by that? Hope is important, right? We need hope when hope is appropriate. However, not just with narcissism, but in general, when we keep hoping for something that is never going to happen, hope holds us hostage. This is never more true than with narcissists, because where you get held hostage in hope is you keep longing and longing for a relationship with them that you are never going to get. And it keeps you locked in and it keeps you miserable. So I call it chasing the ghost. Narcissists, when you first meet them, if it's a friendship or a collegial relationship or a dating relationship, initially they can be super, super charming. If you've grown up with them your whole life, different matter. But if it's somebody you're in a relationship with outside of family, you know that initially they're super charming. And it's confusing because they're initially super charming, but as soon as they have you, as soon as they got you in their claws, they flip. The mask comes off and they become this other person. And it is super confusing and super frustrating. You obviously blame yourself at first, and they're happy to have you do that. And you keep trying to get back the person who you think they are, the person they were initially in the relationship, not understanding that's not really who they are. That is a ghost. So we have to give up false hope. We have to grieve the loss of the hope for the relationship that we wanted. We have to let go of it, right? Stop chasing the ghost. All right, technique number 2. Let go of trying to make them see the light. Let go of trying to get them to do the right thing. All right, and this goes along with number 1, letting go of the relationship that you really want with this person. So look, if you have dealt with a narcissist for any amount of time, you know that again, where we get held hostage is that we keep trying to get them to do the right thing. We keep trying to get them to see the light. We keep trying to get them to just take accountability, and they never will. And it will drive you insane. They're never going to. So you really, part of the journey with a narcissist is letting go of trying to get them to do the right thing. They will just hold you hostage there. All right, number 3, it goes along the same lines with number 2. And that is, let them be mad, okay? So one of the main ways that narcissists control us, and I made another video of the ways that narcissists control you earlier on Please go watch that. But anyway, one of the main ways that narcissists control us is, you know, they make us feel bad. They're mad a lot. And everybody around them lives in fear of this. We all walk around on eggshells like, oh, don't upset the narcissist, don't upset the narcissist, right? Just do what they say, get along, everybody get along with them, because they just make it hell on people. But here's the thing, you guys. And whenever I say this to people, they're like, oh yeah, you're right. They're always mad. They are always mad about something. You are not going to stop them from being mad. So you might as well lean into that and just let them be mad. Let them rant and rave. Whatever. You don't have to participate with them. You can walk out of the room. You can leave. And they will use this to control you by getting upset. So if you just let them be mad, there is a lot of freedom to be had in that, and stop trying to make it okay for them. Stomp on the eggshells. Stop walking on eggshells. Just start stomping on them. Break the eggshells, right? Okay? All right, number 4. Know the techniques they use to control you inside out. Understand the dynamics, the gaslighting, the guilting, the lobbying, all of those. Again, I made a separate video on techniques that narcissists use to control you. It is really important that you understand what they do and the techniques they use, because once you know them and you understand them, you can pretty quickly recognize them, and you can even start to predict them. This in and of itself will help those techniques that they use to have a whole lot less power, because you're like, oh, yeah, that's the gaslighting. Okay, yeah, good job, right? So it really allows you to kind of come up here, to move out of being in the middle of it and kind of like observe from above. So understanding the techniques is super, super, super crucial in dealing with a narcissist. All right, number 5. On the flip side of understanding the techniques that they use to control you, it's actually incredibly easy to manipulate a narcissist. They're really not very savvy, like kind of stunningly so. And one of the things that I have talked about over and over and over in these videos that is so crucial to understand is that with narcissists, their brains are fundamentally broken. They are not capable of a relationship that is reciprocal. It's not about give and take reciprocity with them. It is about win or lose. It is about control. So you are not going to get them to have empathy. What you can do is you can get them to behave. It's not that hard. You just need to understand the levers that you have to pull, okay? So once people understand this, and they come back and they go, whoa, they fell for that, all right? I'm not gonna go into real in-depth in this because it would be a long topic, but I want you to understand there's 2 main ways to manipulate a narcissist. Number 1 is to do what we call pet the narcissist. That means you're gonna throw open your mouth a little bit and you're just gonna be nice to them. You're gonna tell them like, oh my gosh, you did an amazing job on that. Like you did, nobody else does a project as well as you do it. I think you should do the project next week because nobody else would know how to do it as well as you do. Now look, this seems so ridiculously obvious, it's insane, but they fall for it. I've literally had clients come back and tell me like, oh my gosh, they fell for it. It is stunning how easy it is to manipulate them. All right, so the other main way to manipulate them, there is either petting them or is bringing a hammer, right? So a hammer is something that kind of outpowers them. They are really, abandonment is their core wound. So you can always use abandonment to kind of control them and make them behave. Essentially like, hey, if you're gonna sit here and scream at me and be nasty, like, I'm not doing this conversation with you. Click. that is a really effective tool with them. The other thing is sort of levers of major immediate consequences that will be painful for them. It has to be immediate. They are really bad at connecting behaviors and consequences. So it has to be something pretty immediate. I'm going to do a whole separate video on divorcing a narcissist, breaking up with them. But in that case, it looks like the court system. The judge would be the big hammer. And they don't like going to court because they don't like people telling them what to do. So you either have to have a hammer that has a consequence. You know, in your relationship, you can use abandonment as a way to do that, or making something painful for them, or petting them. Throw up in your mouth a little bit, pet them. It works, all right? Number 6, don't let them hold you hostage by their indecision. Do not rely on them to make plans or decisions, okay? And you know this. They will, you know, I don't know, I'll give you an answer later. Oh, the check, yeah, no, I'll have that money for you later. I have to look at, you know, they drive you crazy by inaction. So take that power away from them by simply saying to them, hey, let's say you are trying to make plans, right? Let's say you're divorced from them and you're trying to make plans for the weekend and they won't give you an answer about what time they're dropping the kids off, right? So don't rely on them. Act like you're a single parent. Get a babysitter. If they don't have the kids dropped off by 5 o'clock, okay, the babysitter will pick them up. If you're waiting, if you're trying to plan a vacation, and you need to know dates or times and they're not answering and they're not answering and they're not, you just say, hey, if I don't hear from you by 5 o'clock today, I will assume that I am dropping the kids off at 5 p.m., right? Now, look, I know this is more complicated, but this is actually more effective than you know. Just essentially saying, if I don't get a decision from you, if I don't hear back from you by such and such a time, I will be assuming that the answer is blah, and move forward with that. Don't wait on them. Don't rely on them to help you with something. Act like you are on your own, right? Take away that power that they have to manipulate in that way. Number 7, do not debate them. Don't do it. They live to fight and they love it. We don't like it, they do. People who are not narcissistic are really confused by this. Why are they so difficult? Why are they always fighting? Because they like it. They love fight. The one thing you cannot do to the narcissist is ignore them. Other than that, everything is, you know, gloves off, because it's all about them getting energy from other people. So the more energy they can get from you, the more they love it. And is there any better way than to get you into a debate with them? And you know this. If you have a narcissist in your life, you will never win a debate with them. Like, they're crazy. They flip things in crazy ways, and you're just left like your brain is spinning. So do not debate them. Do not get into a fight with them. Just like, you don't need to get their endorsement or permission for something, right? We get stuck by trying to get somebody to agree or get them to endorse something we're telling them. Again, this goes back to, you know, don't try to make them see the light. You don't need to do that. You just need to inform them of what you're doing. Simple, straightforward, one line. Fewer words, the better. Because once they try to suck you into the debate, like, you're just done. You're cooked. They can debate for far longer than you and I can, like days, right? So that's a really, really important one. All right, number 8. And I've talked about this in a couple of the prior videos. It is okay to distance yourself from the narcissist. And in fact, in order to have healthy boundaries, you will have to distance yourself in some way. I talked about this more in depth in the last two videos on having a narcissistic sibling and a narcissistic parent, right? You cannot be emotionally close to them. They're like emotional vampires is what people often refer to them as. So it's going to require some kind of distance, okay? And whether that is you just sort of have to treat them like a toddler, like when you misbehave, I'm not doing this with you, I'm putting you on a timeout. Or whether you decide to absolutely go no contact with them and you just don't have a relationship with them. It is okay. It is okay to distance yourself from them. And listen, people are not going to understand this, especially if it's a family member. People who don't understand narcissism will give you a hard time about this. But it's your sister, but it's your brother, but it's your mom. How could you? Blah, blah. Like you need to repair this. Sometimes there is no repair, you guys. There's just a healthy boundary. And I have been really stunned by the number of people who have responded to the last two videos by telling me about how they finally found the courage and the path to go no contact. And what a journey and what a hard journey that is, but how much that has helped and how sane they feel. So I'm not necessarily advocating no contact for everybody, but definitely distance, whatever that looks like for you. Okay, so number 9. So this is just a little bit of like a tips and tricks thing, okay? So this works especially well if you have a partner or a spouse or a good friend who understands the narcissist and gets like how hard it is and how crappy they are, okay? This works the best if you're not living in the home with somebody. If it's like somebody at work or an in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, or a brother or sister, and especially like if they kind of come for a visit. And I tell people, I go like, play the points game, right? So the points game is every time the narcissist says something crappy to you, you get a point. And at the end of the weekend, whoever got the most points wins, right? This will flip everything on its head because instead of sitting there the whole time getting so angry and frustrated and hotter and hotter and hotter, and why do they do this and when they won't stop, you start actually being able to kind of laugh about it. And you can look at your partner or your friend and go like, oh, I got 2 points. How many did you get? Or you guys can partner together and you can see like, try to get the most points as a couple and have a good prize. So, hey, if we get 10 points, we get to go out to dinner. If we get 15 points, we get to have a massage. If we get 30 points, we get to go somewhere great for the weekend, right? So then you're actually like, hey, yeah, like, let's get another criticism. Let's get another thing crappy, right? So it's just a way to pull yourself out of the mix and again, to kind of be able to be above it. And, it can be kind of fun, right? So it flips it on its head. All right, last technique, number 10. So look, I'm going to say something kind of weird, but it's really important and it's really true. And that is, what is healthy in a relationship is unhealthy in the dynamic with the narcissist. So what I mean by that is what we would normally consider healthy in a relationship that is reciprocal. And that is things like trying to make it right with the person, trying to have a conversation with the person that's productive to help them understand your perspective and you understand their perspective, trying to find a way to come back into reconciliation, right, when they've hurt you. All of those things that we would consider healthy dynamics, healthy behaviors in a normal relationship are unhealthy with a narcissist and in fact emotionally dangerous because they are not normal. They are by nature unable to do reciprocity. So trying to do relationship dynamics to engender reciprocity with somebody who is not capable of that is not a healthy move, okay? So what's healthy is unhealthy with a narcissist. I hope that makes sense, because it's really true and it's emotionally dangerous. Again, people will not understand this who don't understand narcissism. And they'll try to get you to do those typical healthy behaviors with somebody who is emotionally dangerous and cannot support that. And you know what that feels like. All right, so listen, I hope that this was helpful today. If it was, please like it and please share it so other people can benefit as well. I would love to hear from you in the comments section. I know I've been hearing from a lot of people either here on YouTube or via Facebook about how helpful these videos on narcissism have been, which I'm so glad to hear. And if you want to find out more about me, the link to my website is in the description of this video down below. It is resilientlifetherapy.com. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day and really start understanding the narcissistic dynamic. You actually can, without too much trouble, learn how to manage it. Okay? All right, take care. Bye.